There's a hickey on my forehead.
Why do you have a hickey on your forehead?
It wasn't supposed to last this long. It was just like he just gave me a forehead kiss, and then he was just like being extra, and then he like pulled back and he goes, "It's in the shape of a heart."
I don't know what to say to that.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dark Collective podcast with me, Miss Red, and Bethany is here.
Yay! I'm a
Bethany,
little sicky, so.
No, you're fine. Like Bethany has, I mean, I literally wanted to say cinnamon roll, rabbit, chicken. Like I swear to God, Bethany has like 19 nicknames. Like
Yay.
I was just blessed with one, just Red. Red is my nickname.
Red and Mimo.
Here we go. But that's fine. I'll stick with it. I'm old. Yay. I am old. I'm missing nails. Can we see that I'm missing? Like,
Oh my goodness.
I had a 12-hour day in the salon yesterday. It was psycho. But you guys, we are super excited. We have an amazing author interview today, which we will get to in just a bit. But we wanted to tell you guys something because Bethany, why don't you talk about what was posted recently?
Oh geez. We did our 2024, like the final round of volunteer posts, just to be like, hey guys, go apply. This is it, the last round. And I didn't know Jen was gonna do this, and I had just liked the posts and stuff, and I didn't hear the audio. And then I realized I'm like, life is a highway? What do we?
Yeah, because the 2024 like author announcement was like spooky, like very much our aesthetic, like very good. And then the 2024 volunteers, because we need more, because we just need more. I literally was sitting there like checking my client out, because you just finished her hair. And she was like, oh my God, I want to see that post you did for your winner. It's something stupid on my page. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I open up my Instagram and the first thing I see, life is a highway. And I'm like, I screamed laughing. Like I was dying. And my client was like, what's so funny? And I was like, you wouldn't get it. Well, guess what, ladies and gents? We're going to explain it to you.
God, how did this start?
Well, first of all, you guys need to know, Jen and I constantly talk about how much Bethany does behind the scenes. Like you guys do not understand, this event would not happen without her. She does so many things that I do not know how to do. And same with Jen. And so we all have our babies in this project. Like we're a dark collective. Like we all do things within our repertoire, I guess you could say. So like mine is the podcast. I freaking love doing this, if you guys can't tell. Bethany's baby, like her baby that she has worked so hard on, baby, is the volunteers. Right?
Those are my babies.
Yes. She works so hard, you guys. Bethany, if you could guesstimate like how many hours you have spent just on the volunteer portion, could you guess?
Cheese and crackers. Like weeks of hours. Like I can't even give a number just because it's just like it. Yeah, I do it when I wake up. I'm working on it on my lunch break, and it just all the time.
Exactly. And I wanted to be a part of the volunteers, but the podcast took up a lot of my time. But the thing is even when I go into the meetings with her, I just see how hard and how much she's worked on. So let's explain how something so serious got to life as a highway. So
it's my favorite thing.
It was the very first volunteer meeting, and we went in there, and I don't even remember how it came up, but I was so. You do?
Well, okay. I don't remember how it came up. I remember we were kind of like in the lull before like we started. We were like, okay, we're waiting for everybody to get here. And Red was like, okay, guys, I have something. Like, I think it was going live that day or something.
Yes. Yeah. Because it was a lottery.
Excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's you got it.
So I am a Crocs fiend. I love Crocs. The original Crocs, like kind of, but I love all the Disney like launches because I'm tattooed. Like I love Disney. I'm a Disney adult. And the damn Cars Crocs, like they have done the lottery 4 times. I have put my credit card information and I've never won. Well, on the volunteer day, I won. And you guys, these are adult Crocs. And I don't know if you can see it on screen, but they light up.
Gorgeous.
They're adult light up Crocs. They are amazing. And so like I went in there and showed the volunteers and they were more excited than they should have been, which I love you guys, like, but it made me more excited. And then one of the things that the second part to this is that Bethany likes to ask all the volunteers, like, what's your favorite candy? And so it was like across the board. What were they?
Nerd clusters.
Nerd clusters. So
they are the best candy, hands down. I will hear no slander.
I've never had them. I've never tried one in my life.
I'm flying to California tomorrow.
So these two tiny things became the lore of the volunteer group, which we have a group chat that only volunteers can be a part of. And literally, like, they were like, oh my God, the post. Oh my God, life is a highway. And so they will literally, like, I get volunteers in my DMs being like, hey, Red, I just saw this Cars thing. What do you think? Have I yet to get the Mater Crocs? Nope, because I didn't win the freaking lottery, but it's okay. I will have them before Sinners. But so now it is like an ongoing joke that Red is going to be running in Cars Crocs at Sinners and Stardust. Ka-chow. Like, it's like an ongoing stupid joke, and I love it. I live for it.
It's those videos on Instagram, and then it could just be my For You page. But
like,
oh
no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's like, oh, here's a video of like a serene lake, and it's pouring down rain. It's like, wait for the lightning. And then it's just Lightning McQueen goes right across the screen.
But you know, it's one of those things where inside jokes, I feel, make friendships, make relationships, make all that stuff, right? And in our last episode, we talked about how there's so many people going to Sinners like by themselves. And there's a lot of people going, even just two people. And they're so worried about making friends. And they're so worried about people understanding their niches. You know, like, we curated an entire event just around dark romance. You will find your people. And I found my Crocs people in our volunteer group.
You really did, though. The amount of Crocs, like, pictures and stuff that come up in that group chat just all the time. And I just love that they have like this, like, you'll see people, they'll be at Walmart, they'll see nerd clusters, they just take a picture and send it to the group. Or I should say also like the Reese's cups.
Oh yeah.
They'll freeze them because that was another, like, that was like the second most popular. It was like freezing Reese's.
All right, you guys. So we are going to go ahead and Bethany, who are we interviewing today?
We have the ever so lovely Charlotte Mallory.
I love that we still say ever so lovely, ever so gorgeous,
it's my
and ever so
thing.
I freaking love it. It's like a new thing that is going to happen on every episode. All right, you guys. So please enjoy the interview with Miss Charlotte Mallory. Hey guys, welcome back. And we have the ever so lovely Miss Charlotte Mallory. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm super excited for this. Like we were saying, it's my first time doing this, so I'm just winging it.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect because that's why we have questions so that you can just wing your answers. It's just perfect.
Yeah. I just showed up. I didn't. This is actually how I took a lot of tests in college. Now that I think about it. I tried to prepare, but then I didn't, and then I just showed up.
That's perfect. That's all we need from you. Just be here, and we're good.
Yep, that's what I did. Yep.
All right, cool. So let's start out. So what genres do you write?
Okay, so overall, I really like dark fantasy romance. That's kind of my vibe. And then every now and then I'll dip my toes into like contemporary romance.
Okay.
And it's just kind of, I don't know, like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I would say, it's just so removed from everything. It's just more fun. Sometimes I feel like to keep appreciating like the dark romance stuff, I feel like you gotta take a step out real quick.
That's fair.
So that's how I read it anyway. So I write a lot of the dark romanticy, and then I dabble with the contemporary every now and then. Only once, actually. I lied. I've only done it once.
Like, actually, I only ever did that one time, but I do it all the time.
Yeah, all the time, but once. Yeah.
But that's understandable. Like, it's an ongoing joke in our group that I'm like the fairy princess baby, that like the dark romance is very new to me. And
yeah,
I asked Jen to like, when we started this, I've said this a few times where I'm like, hey, give me a dark romance book to read. Like, I just want to like dip my toes in it. Bitch threw a weapon at my head with a book. And I was just like, okay, cool.
So she tells you to read the triggers.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know what a trigger was. That's how new I was to this.
And now people shop books based on trigger warnings.
Based on trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I know Bethany, her love of her life is monster romance, right? And she loves paranormal and dark. And, it's very much her vibe. And it's really funny when I asked Jen, like, what is your vibe though? I really just don't know. She goes, oh, the more triggers, the better. So she just doesn't care.
Does not care.
Yep. I know.
I
haven't read her book yet, but I have an author friend, Elena May. She did Better Run. Her books are basically like an entire page of trigger warnings.
I've seen like several pages of trigger, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's see if I can digest this. Let's see how this goes.
See, I'm like a reader of that. I'm not a writer of that. I like dark vibes a lot.
Okay.
I love like dark angsty stories. But it's like it's too much for me to write. Cuz like, it really it's just like it's mentally taxing. I've tried it before and I'm just like, God, there's a lot going on here. Like reading it is so much more fun cuz it's like I
you'll
get to
read
like
dark stuff, like
so then I get to like breeze through it. And it's not as heavy.
Now, do you only read like dark romance? Do you like to like dabble like with contemporary, like you said, like the one time that you wrote it instead of
the one time? Yeah, so I'm like I would say just like dark romance and dark romantasy. And then romantasy. That's like that's my mood read, I would say. Okay. I'm a mood reader for sure.
Gotcha. Now do you get like all the way through the book, or do you only get like 80% and then like pick up another one? Because that's the kind of mood reader I am.
Yes, I'm like that a lot. I don't finish many books.
Okay.
Like or like what I'll do is I'll get like a certain percentage in and then I'll just go read the ending to like, and I don't know why I'm like that. So I really love a book when I read the whole book. That's how I know that book is for me.
No, that's exactly what I say to Jen all the time. If she comes to me and she's like, I just finished this book, and I go, what did you just say? What book was it? I don't care what was in it. You finished it? Yes. You completely finished the book, start to finish. And she's like, yes. And I was like, cool. And then immediately I pick it up. Because we'll start books all the time. But if one of us finishes it, then we're like, no. Go finish this book. Like,
yes. No, that's how I know it's a good book. Or at least for me, that's a good book, is when I finish a book. That's how I know I'm invested in this book.
Well, what book are you reading right now?
Ooh.
So I have not read a book in like 6 months.
Oh my God, that's Bethany. Like okay. Okay, people can't see my face because a lot of people just listen, don't watch. So I started reading, I read this person's first book, fell in love with it, like could not put it down, cover to cover in 2 days. Second book put me in a book slump because I got like, I put it in like, probably like halfway through, I could not finish it. And it put me in something called a book slump where I did not read for 6 months. And like, being pretty much a founder of a book event, like I need to be reading our authors. Like I need to be on top of that. So I did one of the podcast interviews with this author and I read her book and it got me like back into it. And I was able to like start reading again. And now I'm audiobooking and reading like a psycho.
Yes.
But the thing is, I get that. Sometimes like you just get into a book slump where it's just hard to open up your mind to a new world, especially for you, because like you're an author, so you write worlds. So like I can totally understand that.
That's kind of where I'm currently at a book slump, is because I'm working on finishing the sequel for Secret to Jane. So it's like my brain is only in that world. I have tried to start other novels, but as soon as I do, I just jump back into my world. And then I'm just, I can't get out of it. So like right now, my priority is to finish it. What I'm going to be picking up is Ever King by LJ Andrews.
Yes.
I really want to read that one. Yeah. So I have it on audiobook. I'm ready for it. And then I'm going to do Butcher and Blackbird because my one friend, she loves Butcher and Blackbird. So
that was my palate cleanser. So I just finished a 5-book series. I finished a 9-book audiobook series. And I literally was like, I need a palate cleanser because it was very romantic-y because duh.
Yes.
And Bethany, what, 3 days? I think I finally finished.
3 days.
Not even 3 days. I finished it. Butcher and Blackbird is one of those books where you're just like, ha! Like it's
that's
so
exactly
fun.
it.
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited.
I will say, just like my warning to everybody is if you love cookies and cream ice cream, go ahead and just grab a pint and eat it while you're reading.
Yep.
Just eat it while you're
I'm intrigued. I'm excited for that book.
I'm so also big shout out. So My introduction, I mean, I feel like everybody has a gateway drug to reading, right? Like getting in part of the
Yes.
book world, right? And
Yes.
the most popular one is ACOTAR. Everyone's read it. Everyone has been seen through it, whatever. For me, that
me.
shut up. That makes me so happy that not everyone has read it. But no, but I also, for me, I didn't start with that. I started with From Blood and Ash from Jennifer
Okay.
Armentrout. And it's that is a huge series with prequels and everything. But right after that, I found LJ Andrews. And I literally, the first time I ever met Bethany in Florida, we were all at the pool and I was explaining to everybody, you guys have to read this series. It's so cool.
Yes.
It starts out in one kingdom and then you meet this dummy character and you're like, who the character? Then it ends up in their kingdom and then it's this kingdom. And I am obsessed with that series.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't even know ACOTAR was a thing when I first got into like the book world or I would say back into like the romance world. My gateway was Born to Be Bound by Addison Cain.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Love that. I was there for like her fan fiction days when it was actually a fan fiction originally.
Oh, yeah.
I read that. And then I picked it back up. It was probably around the pandemic time, and they got me back into it. And then I kept seeing ACOTAR everywhere. I'm really bad. If a book is really popular, I don't read it.
That's awesome.
And it's no like prejudice against it. I think there's so much hype. My brain doesn't know how to process the hype, and so then I have this like expectation for it, and so then it just takes me forever. But as soon as I get the sequel done, that's one thing I feel like I have to read it at some point. Like
you just get the reference tampon.
You will get the references.
You'll get the references.
Exactly. I need to understand what people are talking about.
Yeah. It's definitely like, but that's the thing that's what I love is it doesn't matter if you've read ACOTAR, Blood and Ash. Like those are two huge gateway drugs for a lot of people. It brings more people to more of our genre, which is the dark romance. Now it's just so much more accepted, you know?
Yes.
It's my favorite thing.
No, and I love how like romance, I feel like you get to explore a lot of just creativity with it, you know? And you just get to explore a lot in general, but it's very, I don't know. I have enjoyed so much how romance books have allowed people to just, maybe it is just exploring what they like, exploring what they want, living some things out and then putting that down, and then next thing you know, you're in a whole nother world, and it's just a spicy world. So like I've always described like I can't help it. Every time I like watch a movie or watch a show or read a book, like I just become obsessed with the romance.
Yeah.
I'm like, I realize I'm a hopeless romantic. So it's like, I love a story with a big plot and a big romance. It's like, that is the perfect book for me, or the perfect story. So that's kind of where I'm at with writing. I need a big plot.
No, and like I get that. Like Bethany right now is dating Jenn by watching Bridgerton together over the phone. Like they're watching their show together. It's adorable.
It's online dating.
It's online dating.
I love that.
We literally, it's my favorite thing. I'm gonna tell that little story really quick because I watched season 1 when I had Netflix and I don't have Netflix. I watched season 1 for a little bit and then I just like mood reader me. I was just like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to see these two people going at it anymore. I'm just tired of them. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I think it was literally like not even 2 episodes to the end. Like it was like I have whole bottom episode and like a half. Like I was so close to be done with season 1. And then Jenn was like, you have to get through this. Like you're gonna love it. And I was like, okay, fine. Pull up Netflix, and she's like, okay, well, we're watching this together. And I was like, okay. And so I have my phone and I have it like right here on my chest, and I'm like, okay, are you ready? Okay, you're ready? You ready? Okay, we're gonna go to 3, 2, 1. We're gonna press play, and then we're okay. 3. Wait, are we pressing play at 1? Are we pressing play after 1? What are we doing? And then it just became this thing. And then anytime we would get it like spot on because I could hear hers and she could hear mine. She's like, we are professionals. We are professionals. We did a great job. And now I'm almost through season 2 because I am invested. It is funny. I'm having the best time, but it's the plot. It's the romance. It's the banter. I'm like, banter. Okay, fine.
Banter is key. And I will say with Butcher and Blackbird, chef's kiss.
That's what I heard.
Chef's kiss.
You're gonna love it. I think
Banter's
I
my
through
thing
it too.
And it starts in like the first 10 pages. That's what makes it so good. So like it'll hook you very quickly.
Yeah, I love banter. Banter is like a lot of people read my books and they comment on the banter.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. That's what we want.
Yes.
My favorite word, I say it in every author interview. I love angst. You put angst and banter together.
My books are literally angst. That is,
love it.
That's what everybody, they comment on the banter and they comment on the angst. I have like, my favorite is tension, like just like romantic and sexual tension. I want tension and angst, and I want you to just. That's what I loved about like Born to Be Bound. That's like my like maybe my not foundation book series, but that was like the book series that like I was like, what is going on in this book? I have never touched a book. I just went straight into the deep end. I was like, there's so much crap happening here, like just like explicit stuff. I was like, this is crazy, but I don't know. Though the angst though is what got me, I think. And I'm like, I need angst. I need it.
I just love that word too. It's like a word that you're just like,
it's a fun word.
Angsty.
Yes.
It's an angsty man.
So, can you tell us what kind of paranormal romance do you write?
So right now I haven't, I have a backlist for it. So right now I have my contemporary series out, and then I have my dark romantasy series out, and then every now and then I'll dabble in paranormal stuff. So like one of my backlist is a paranormal for vampire. It's like it's a vampire fantasy romance. And it's called Vermilion. And I'm probably gonna publish that after the Improper Bastard series. I haven't decided. I have quite a few options to go. I'll kind of probably feel the vibe of where like the book world's at. But that it'll probably be vampires.
Vampires are always gonna be my love, just from solely one thing and one thing only. Interview with the Vampire was the first scary movie I was allowed to see as a child. And
awesome.
True Blood, because True Blood was so catty and ridiculous, but also amazing at the same time.
I know, right? You couldn't stop watching it?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
Yep. I love vampires so much.
Same.
Vampires are amazing. Mating face all the way.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned the Improper Bastard series. How many books are you planning on releasing in that series?
So right now there's one out right now. It's Secrets of Jane, and then so like the sequel is gonna be the same, but the subtitles are different. So first one is Forgotten, second one is Reborn, and then I'm going to do one after that. I'll say it here, for like a little fun Easter egg if people are listening. But it's going to be called The Heart of a Basilisk, and that's going to be the third. So like the first two books follow Jane and Soren, and then the third book is going to follow Basilisk and another like female character we haven't met yet. But we're meeting Basilisk in the sequel. So it's going to be a standalone. So you can read it without reading the first two if you're not interested. But it's going to be that one. And then I might write a fourth like little novella that follows two characters in the first two books that people are really, really passionate about.
Wow. So spoiler moment. I love that.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I won't use that as a teaser. So people who are listening only get to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Little Easter eggs.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of goes into the next question, because that's what you're working on for your new stuff, right? Like you're working on those sequels and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Cause like I'm, like how I write, I'm very much an Easter egg type writer. Like I love when things connect. Like I love when you have questions and I answer them. So like I'm trying really hard to make sure that Basilisk, like he's in the sequel properly. So that way like his book is very, I don't know, it's just it connects really well. Instead of being very independent. Like you can read them independently, but if you read them too, they'll just I love it when things just mesh.
No,
and it feels like a real world, and it feels like real characters, and it feels like somebody's decisions actually impact the world. I love that.
Oh, we love that.
You're talking to two Disney adults. We love Easter eggs. Like
hidden Mickeys, I'll find one anywhere.
I'm at Walmart. I'm at like a random sidewalk. I'm like, Mickey. So we're talking about all these new books that you're writing for your series. What are some things that you do when you're not writing? Some of your favorite things to do? So
I am I really like doing a lot of graphic design and cover design and stuff. One thing I'm doing right now is I've got my books. Like this is like the omnibus for my contemporary.
Oh, that's so pretty.
I know.
And the foil.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so for those of you who cannot see because you're listening in your car, you should go watch on YouTube because it's so pretty. She's showing us her book.
But I make it I love doing that kind of stuff.
That's
I love
so cool.
it's bookish still, but I love like playing around with covers and like graphic design and stuff. It's my favorite. I also I like building houses in The Sims 4.
Oh, yeah.
It's so random.
I love that
No.
though.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
that.
doing that. I just had a kid about 5 months ago, so he takes
Oh,
up a lot of time.
wow.
He has humbled me on my ability to manage time. So that's where like my sequel's taking forever to write.
Mm,
So before him though, it was just a lot of like, gosh, I just went outside all the time. And honestly, I do a lot of writing and reading.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
I actually have no life.
But we all get that. Like Bethany works
Yeah.
crazy hours, and she also is, constantly working on Sinners, on the stuff that I
Yeah.
have no idea how to do because I am not a sheets person. I don't get
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Don't get it. But no, like we both definitely understand that. Like I own a hair salon. I work 12-hour days, 5 days a week, and then
Okay,
I
yep.
travel to teach as well. So I
Okay.
get that feeling where you're like, what am I doing? Like,
What
is
do
my
I have as a
actual
hobby?
life?
Do I have any? No, I don't. Yeah.
so
What is a hobby?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What is a hobby? No, so you were talking about like all of your characters you're bringing in, the basilisk, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
do you have a favorite character? Like hands down, my favorite character I've ever written.
So it's actually my favorite character is probably still in Vermilion.
Mm-hmm.
So like I
Okay.
love a lot of like my Jane characters, like the Secrets of Jane world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Vermilion, that's where I got very I pushed myself on characters in that one. And I really fell in love with a lot of characters in that book. So I feel like they're just my favorites just because they're like my OG first characters that I actually pushed myself on to make them. But I definitely Jane, it has so many fun characters in Secrets of Jane. They're crazy, they're wild. It's called Improper Bastards. Like it's a bunch of improper bastards. Like it's great. Um a lot of personalities.
So it's hard to pick just one, right? Like, cause these are
It
your
is for
babies.
me.
It's your
Yeah,
babies.
I actually
Yeah, no,
don't
I get
have like
that.
a favorite character. Like I can't. Like I have favorites at like a moment, but
Oh.
and then it switches to the next character as I like delve into them and stuff. Like for Secrets of Jane, like it'll probably surprise people because in the first book she didn't have a big role, but in the sequel it's a character called Anya.
Uh-huh.
And like she has become a big favorite of mine as I've really discovered her story in the sequel. She's currently really fun to write, but that's because I feel like I'm really getting to know her in the
Mm-hmm.
sequel. So that's kind of it's almost like meeting people for me
Yeah.
when I'm writing them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
No, I get
changes
that.
depending on who I'm writing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I say,
That's
oh,
so
by the way,
fun,
I say
though.
I love that every other fucking sentence, but I do mean it.
It's like it's the best meaning, best intentions.
Yeah.
Where do you get your inspiration for your books?
That is an interesting so like I'm somebody where like what'll usually happen is I'll dream it up.
Oh.
I am actually
Okay.
one of those people. So like for like this book I had a dream and like my dreams are crazy. And so I will usually dream them. I'm not the characters in my dreams, but I'll like observe them or I will
Aw.
be the person. It's not me though, but like I'm in their like body like so I had a
Wow.
dream of this like mercenary captive thing and it was a really intense dream and I woke up and I was like, "Oh, that'd be fun to like jot down." And so I jotted it down like years ago. And then going through working on a backlist, I picked Secrets of Jane. Like I decided to turn it into a story, but a lot of them really just that or media too. Because like writers, so
Mhm.
this is a sports romance. Um, I really fell in love with the movie Warrior
Oh, I've seen that. It's
with
really
Tom
good.
Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
loved
good.
it, and so I'm like done. I'm writing a book about it.
I love
So
it.
yeah, yeah. So it's either like other media will inspire me. Like Secrets of Jane is like The Witcher meets Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
that right there is such a great way to describe a book to people that
yes,
have not read your books because
yes,
they're going to be like, well, I love both those. So you give me
yes.
Henry Cavill, you give me Johnny Depp in the same book. I'm reading
Yes.
it.
Yep. It's like it's Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. It's like adventures, especially the sequel. Um and it's very The Witcher vibes too. But yeah, Soren, he's often compared to like Geralt with he's like a sassy Geralt, like even sassier Geralt, because Geralt has sassy sides.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I would say probably just like daydreaming, dreaming, and then like consuming other media. It'll just get my like the little gears in my brain spinning.
No, I think that's such a good way of describing it though, because we all pull inspiration from different places.
We do.
Like I know that Bethany, like for instance, the sweatshirt I'm wearing right now is Bethany's, and I love candy hearts. I'm like obsessed with like the Brock's
Oh,
candy
yeah.
hearts or whatever. And she literally was like, "Oh, I love that idea." And then she pulls inspiration, makes really cool stuff, you know? And it's for me, I pull a lot of inspiration from Pantone, like the color of the
Okay.
year. So like when I do hair and people want a fun color, I'm like, "Oh, what's the color of the year?" You know? And then how do I
Yeah.
it's just that really cool way of finding your own inspiration, but putting your personal twist on it. And I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah. No, I fully admit that I get inspired by other things.
Mhm.
And it's just like watching or consuming something it'll just trigger my brain to just go
Oh, yeah.
down its whole other path. I don't even know. Yeah, Secrets of Jane, that was a dream. And then Writer was watching Warrior.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. Mm.
Yeah. And then Vermilion coming out, that one was just straight up at the time I wanted a vampire romance. And so I just made one up.
I love it. You're like, I'm just gonna go write it for myself. Thank you.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. That's what it was.
So, with how you pull your inspiration and all the books you're writing, what is something you wish you would have known though at the very beginning of your author journey?
Oh my gosh. Like, so many things. It's been a journey. Like long ago, I'm gonna really cut this short. Probably like over 10 years ago, I was in college. So anyway, the whole point of like what I wish I would know is just how big of a journey it was gonna be and
Mhm.
how much it's not gonna happen overnight. Cause like over 10 years ago, I was in college and I was bored and I wanted a book. So I was like, I'll just write a book. And so I started writing a fantasy book, but then I just was obsessed with the romance in there. And so I had some like dark romance in there and I was like, nobody's gonna ever like this. This is crazy dark. And so I just was writing their stories anyway. Um, and then I just got heavy into fan fiction for a while. Um, but again, I wish I knew how much it's okay to go on these journeys and how
Mhm.
much it's okay to like not take off right away and to just practice and to write and to enjoy the process. Because I've gained so much knowledge from just taking all those years to write. And then yeah, I think I've just in the last year I've really accepted slowing down on trying to like make it go fast, and like to make a book take off to like whatever. Like I don't know, I've slowed down on that, and I appreciate that I've slowed down. And I wish I would have been much more patient with myself in the beginning, back all those years ago when I started with a fantasy book, thinking like this is gonna be my book, I'm gonna publish it in a year, and having no idea what I was doing. But
But
just to enjoy the journey, to enjoy it and be like, no, I need to explore. I need to see what I like, what I don't like. I need to just write. Except that's gonna be crap. That's gonna be crap. That's gonna suck. And just I don't know. Yeah, it's a kind of a complicated answer.
No, but that's okay though. We
Yeah,
asked this question multiple times in interviews, and
yeah,
every author and every vendor and everyone we've interviewed has had a different answer,
that'd be so
which is
interesting.
so interesting
It
because
is.
we've met authors that have been writing for 25 years to authors that have only been writing for 2. Like
Yeah,
it's such a cool like kind of a glimpse into how your brain works as authors. And
yeah.
I will say it 1,000 times. Could never do what you do. Like ever in 1,000 years. Like could not do
It's a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot.
Goodness.
I think another thing that I wish I would have known just to prepare myself for is how much like writing is just a small subset, if especially if you're doing indie. But even I know a lot of traditional authors where they still have to do
Hmm.
so much marketing, so much networking, so much like. And as an indie author, I have to do everything. I'm arranging
Yeah.
everything, I'm working with all the vendors myself, all the editing. I'm in charge of everything, and that
Right.
is so much work.
Hmm.
So much work. It's
Right.
crazy. I mean, you guys probably know how that goes, being a
Hmm.
vendor, or
Yep.
that vendor, but like you're running a whole event.
No,
Like,
but Bethany is a vendor. She has her own shop and she's,
okay,
and so is Jen. Jen has her shop
Yeah.
and then we also own an event. So it's like we just kind of want to do it all.
It's a lot.
and that's being an indie author. Yeah, it's you're doing everything all the
Mhm.
time.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine like writing the thing, then being like, hey guys, you should read it. I think it's pretty cool.
That's actually how I
like,
got into like this side of writing, is
oh,
because forever ago I was on Wattpad and
Mhm.
I was just practicing writing, and I wanted to publish it like on a platform where I could get like actual feedback and join book clubs and stuff and get critiques and everything. And so I realized though, like, nobody's going to just buy my book. So I need to like pick a genre, and I need to pick something that I can market like myself with, my books with, and it'll, because they really recommend don't like write like thriller and then like Amish romance.
Yeah, right. Like,
Your audiences are not going to align.
yeah.
So I picked romance, and I picked like paranormal slash fantasy romance. And then as I kept writing, it got darker. But that's how I got into that, is because I was like, I need to pick something where I could just write a ton of books in. And I loved dark romantasy. So that's how I got specifically in this genre.
No, an audience is huge, and social media
It
runs our world, and I hate to admit it, but it does. But
Yep.
it's just like you have to figure out how to market yourself. Like
Mhm.
I know that with the way that Jenn markets her shop, the way that Bethany markets her shop, the way that I market to clientele, but I also market to education. Like you have to know your audience to be
Mhm.
successful. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
You do, and I feel like you have to be honest with yourself about what you're good at and also what you like to do.
Mhm.
I am terrible at social media. I'm just awful. I will commit to the idea of posting X amount of times or to like being on TikTok, and then like I'll do it for like 4 days and then I'm just tired of it.
Yeah,
And
I get
then I
that.
stop. And then I'm like, and then I feel bad. And then I go in this like a little anxiety loop where I'm like, oh my God, but I don't think I responded to somebody and I can't find their comment
Aw.
anywhere. And so I'm trying to
Aw.
like, so then I leave it alone. And yeah, that's social media it's so much fun, but oh my gosh, it is exhausting.
It's a
Mhm.
lot. And I like to say, I mean, I don't know if you already do this. This is what I do because, again, my brain, I can't focus on the same thing for a week straight
Yeah.
to save my life.
Yeah.
But if I have a burst of energy on one day and I'm like, I want to make 1,000 posts and I have the energy to do so, I will put them in my drafts or schedule them. That way, when it's like, I don't feel like it today, but this is a really good time to do it, I have a
Yes.
draft already ready. And like, I know that's saying a lot. And it's just like, do I actually have the energy to do it? Because once I'm doing it and I've done like 12 things, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I died
Mhm.
this week. This is it. This is all I could do.
Yep.
But it does happens about once a week, every once in a while. And it's
Yeah.
been like that journey to get more consistent because apparently that's something
Yes.
we're supposed to do. I've stopped posting on
Yup.
TikTok though because I
TikTok
don't know.
hates us.
It
It hates me.
It's not
TikTok
great
hates
right now.
everybody. It's right
I've
now.
tried.
The only thing TikTok likes right now is Lana Cella. So,
I feel like it's like a cat, where like you try to get it to like you, and the more you do, the more it just hates you.
Yep.
And then like when you don't give a shit and you just post something, that's the video that goes viral. And you're
Yeah.
like, really? That was about my shoe.
Yeah.
Like, what about like my book?
That was
And then you're like, okay, let's write off of that. And then it's like, no, I don't want to be friends anymore.
It's
It's like,
like
I hate this
actually I don't
platform.
care about you anymore.
Exactly.
I hate
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It won't.
It's no
I
fun.
cannot make a video go viral to save my life.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
okay.
it's
Oh, well.
not.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, bringing us back to how we all were brought together, what are you most excited for to experience at Sinners or to see, to do anything? What are you most excited for Sinners and Stardust?
I think I'm just excited for like the event, like the energy. Like I'm excited to to meet people. I'm really excited to meet people, and I think I'm excited about. I feel like the bookish world, like reading and writing, especially if you're like in the erotic romance with anything that's got like a dick somewhere. I feel like it's so hard to meet people in real life, who
Yes,
like you
though.
also can vibe with, where it's just like, what are you reading? I feel like if you're like a thriller reader, it's so much easier to find like a book club to
Mhm.
like hang out with. But
That's true.
I think I'm just looking forward to vibing with people in real life that like all the same stuff that I like. And just be able to talk about books and everything, and just, I don't know, have like a big, big, giant book club event. That's what it
Yeah.
feels
Yeah.
like to me.
And that's so funny you say that because another person said like it feels like it's a book club event, and I'm
It
just
does.
like that's perfect. We love that.
Yeah.
We're hanging out in a
It's-
hotel.
I know. I love it.
We really
I'm
are.
so excited. We get to dress up. I love
Mhm.
how
Be all
everybody's all
pretty.
about like, we're adults now and we're going to have our own ball.
We're
Well,
gonna
yeah,
have dress
Yeah.
up parties.
I love it.
Well, because CNN did an article about it recently about how
Oh my gosh.
the adults and book balls are becoming a thing. Like, so we're
Yeah.
relevant. But I literally am so excited for the whole thing. Obviously, we
Yes.
founded it, but my conkles of my heart is literally just cannot wait for the author meet and mingle so that we can just like, we're here.
We're all just gonna be
Yes.
so happy, and like you'll just see Red and I tackling people
Oh,
with their
1000%.
consent. I've
Mhm.
gotten consent. I have
Yes.
screenshots of people being like, "You can hug me," and I'm like, "Cool," because I needed
Yeah.
to know that before I fully tackled you to the ground.
Exactly.
I love that. That's what I think that's what I'm really looking forward to. Because it's so hard to find that in person in real life.
And the good thing about the meet and mingle, and I think this is why I'm so excited about, obviously we can't wait for the attendees to meet their authors that they're so excited
Yeah.
to meet. But it's going to be that one space where no one's worried about what they're selling. No one's worried about who they're
Yes.
meeting. We're in a
Yes.
group of just like-minded people. And that
Yes.
I want to be like a fly on the wall and like, oh my God, look, Charlotte Mallory's meeting Oprah Rain. Let's watch what happens.
That'd be so
You know,
cool.
like, it's just like, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Like I'm so
Yes.
excited for like authors to meet authors, vendors to meet vendors, and so on and so forth. And that's what I'm so excited about is that we made that happen, you know, and
You
that's
did.
it's so exciting.
Yeah, and it's such a great place because we're all kind of in a way not really coworkers, but we exist in the same space and we do the same thing.
Mhm.
And I truly think that there's no competition between authors. Like yeah, there's like the internal competition of like I can do
Yeah.
that too. But like honestly, if somebody finishes this person's book, they need another book.
Yeah.
You know, so like we're not in competition here. Like we should work
Aw.
together to try to
Yeah.
sell each other's books because readers have to keep reading a book. So it's like I'm just looking forward to I don't know that networking and feeling like we all exist. We're not, because right now it's in my own little bubble. Like it's at home on the phone. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like an in person. We all get to sit down and have a drink or just I don't know, feel real. I guess.
Yeah. You know, and we just need that little bit of a break. I mean, obviously we're
We
all
do.
going to be working, but
Yes.
it's that couple hours of just cool. Like we're all here and we're going to have
Yeah.
fun. You know, like that's all
Yes.
it is.
I'm so excited. You guys have done a great job.
Oh, thank you.
It feels like this is like your 10th event or something. It still blows my mind that it's your
Mentally,
first
it
one.
feels like it.
That's
I'm
what I was
just
saying.
kidding.
It feels like it, but
Yeah. So you guys like stressed out about next year already? Like, have you even touched that?
Yes.
we have steamrolled into 2025.
Oh, awesome.
It was more of like a Jen was like, "Hey, we should probably plan for 2025." 2 hours later, "Hey, by the way,
No,
was
we
like-
already because we have our author form up. We have
Yeah.
all the interest forms are
all
up."
the interest forms are up. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
get like
We already
we
have
completely
dates, like-
understand that a lot. We're not picking anybody yet. We're not announcing anybody yet because we know that a lot of people want to get through our first year. You know,
Yeah.
especially returning people. But
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We have so many new things coming. No spoilers here, but we have a lot of really cool things coming, and we just can't wait to like share it with everyone.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm so
excited.
excited.
This is like, I never thought I would do a book event before. So I'm really excited.
Oh,
And I think
yay.
just letting go of the idea, because before I was like, oh, I don't know if it'll be like a good like ROI. I'll have to sell X amount of books. But then once I kind of saw it more, it's like, it's fun, it's networking, it's good marketing. Like, it's just a good thing to go to. And now I'm
Yeah.
just like so pumped because it just feels like a big event just for us to hang out.
Well, I'm putting it in the universe that you're going to sell all your books. Like
thank you.
everybody wants to buy it. It's
Thank
amazing
you.
and Proper Bastards
I appreciate
series.
it.
Buy it.
Yes, no, I appreciate that.
Of
I will be
course.
clinging to that desperately.
Perfect. All right, Miss Charlotte Mallory. Well, thank you so much on behalf of the Dark Collective
Scratch it off.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yes, no, please plug.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah,
like
plug my book.
I want to
Yeah.
exactly Secrets of Jane. But really quickly, one of the things we forgot to ask you.
Yeah.
How do we find you on socials?
Okay, so on like Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere, I am at C Mallory Author. So I try to make it the same. So if there's a social media platform, type that in, and you should be able to find me.
And thank you so much for being on here with us. We had an absolute blast talking about
Yeah.
all the fun things, everything we're excited for. But again, thank you, and I can't wait to squeeze you at Sinners.
Yes. Nope, I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Well, perfect. All right, you guys. So make sure to tune in to the Dark Collective podcast every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. You can click our link in bio. We are on all platforms. And make sure to check out Charlotte Mallory on all of our socials. But we will see you guys at Sinners and Stardust in August of 2024. Bye,
Yay!
guys.
I'm so
Bye.
excited.